Hey guys, Never here. It's been a little while. Thought I'd put another video together for you today, just to actually start to take you through what it takes to actually play weight strategically. So what I mean by that is shots like trailing the jack, landing a bowl with 6 feet, landing a bowl with a meter. The tricky shots that take a lot of skill, and we all know how hard they are, don't we? So what I'm going to do is I've got a bit of a screen recording going on, so I can reduce the window of the screen so I can show you a video and give you a bit of an idea about that. But to kick things off, I want to tell you a little bit of a story. So when I was 15 years old, so I think that was in about the year 1999. Yeah, 1999. I was born 84. Yep. So I met a gentleman by the name of Don Sherman Senior. So Don Sherman won a Commonwealth gold medal for Australia. I think it was in 1981. Quite close with the Sherman family out of Bendigo, although it's been a number of years since I've seen them, especially now I've relocated and lived in New Zealand for 7 years. I was 7 years mid-year this year. Anyway, so back when I was a young fella, I wanted to be really good at bowls. Like I really did. I wanted to be really good at bowls. And I used to, I used to lie in bed and watch VHS tapes of bowls of like the old world bowls at Adelaide and things like that. And I used to watch them over and over and over again because in my mind, I wanted to be a world champion. That's what I wanted to be. So if that meant that I had to practice after school as a young fella, I did that, and I did that 3 to 4 days a week. I used to, on my way home from school, I used to get the bowls out, throw them out, start practicing till the sun would go down, chuck them in my backpack, and then I'd literally walk home because my home was about 400, probably about a kilometre from the bowls club. Anyway, so as part of that obsession, because I'm an obsessive person. If I'm going to do, like, it's sort of the way I'm built. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to focus 100% on it until I've done it. And I think there's learnings in that for everybody, because it's like, well, if you're going to try and do something, you generally don't become the very best at it, unless you're 100% focused on that. And not elitist, but everyone that is good at what they do, their craft, doesn't matter if it's family or if it's work or a sport, you get out what you put in. So if you focus and your energy is really focused on that one thing, then you really excel at it. Anyway, so as part of that process, I wanted to be best. I wanted to succeed. I wanted to go to the Commonwealth Games. That was always my dream as a kid, and I didn't fulfil that in the end. Was lucky enough to win a couple of national titles, and that was good, and pulled the pin on the whole thing about, it's been about 5 years now, believe it or not. So I've been building the business 5 years, and have a guess what's happened. We've grown to a team of 10, and we're accelerating from there now. Like I said, because that's where you put your energy. Anyway, so I wanted to be the best, and I had heard of Don. So Don had lived about an hour away from where I lived in Daylesford at the time, where I grew up. I went and asked my mum. I'm like, hey, I know of this guy in Bendigo. He was a Commonwealth gold medalist. I want to go and meet this guy. I want him to coach me. Anyway, so so Mum drove me up to Bendigo. Went into the bowl store. I was fortunate enough, I ordered a new set of bowls. I think they were a set of Drake's Internationals at the time, a blue set with Ferrari logo on them, which was pretty cool, like the old Enzo. Anyway, so I met Don, fantastic guy, and I met Greg, and the guys really looked after me in the shop and helped me out with a set of bowls. Anyway, I turned around and asked, I said, hey, do you guys do lessons? Or Don, do you do lessons? And it turns out Don did. So what happened was, I started lessons with him. So Mum would drive me an hour of a Saturday morning to go and have a lesson with Don. So we'd have the lesson and then drive me back. So that'd be half to 3/4 day trip on a Saturday morning to learn from the great man Don Sherman. Anyway, so those lessons were fantastic. He taught me everything from visualization, which was a massive part of Don's philosophy. But he taught me discipline, and he also taught me how to, like I said, visualize, and he taught me how to play weight correctly. He taught me how to play strategically in terms of the way that you think and the way that you align your body and your target lines and things like that. So anyway, so what he taught me and what I've carried on for the rest of my bowls career, was that every single shot that you would play as a lawn bowler was a draw shot. And he was just unbelievable at it. So if you have a jack like this and you have a bowl next to it, and you want to land that, say, with 6 feet away, in effect, you're not playing weight. What you're doing is you're playing 6 feet through the target to a spot. And so if you were to draw to that spot and you were to visualize through that spot, the bowl that you're actually looking to land or the jack you're looking to trail would just be on that natural trajectory. And I've got a little window here that I'm going to show you. So if I just close this for a second, okay. So if you just imagine here, right, you're on the mat, this purple bowl's against you, you want to trail the jack for say 2 or 3, you would just before you get on the mat, you're like, okay, all I need to do is to draw to this point. And so if you literally draw to that point, the bowl or the jack is literally on that trajectory. And what happens through this is you become extremely consistent. You become extremely consistent, and the reason is because when it comes to picking that line, if it's just a draw shot, you can then adjust off your bank. So just say that you want to play 6 feet through that bowl, and that means that you're going to end up about, I don't know, say 2.5, say 3 foot narrow. All you have to do is adjust off the bank according to your draw line, and that line's going to be really close. Then all you have to do is add a couple of meters. And so as part of the visualization process before you get on the mat, you're like, yep, okay, I'm just drawing there. Because you're not trying to land the bowl, you are drawing to that spot. And then if you adjust your feet, and then you adjust your, where you're looking in terms of with the shooter stance, and then you pick your spot, and you're like, yep, I'm just drawing to that spot, and that's 2 meters over. Then bang, you go out, and then what you find is you don't miss by much. You either land them and get them, or you don't miss by much. So it is a massive, it is quite a significant secret when it comes to playing any of that weight. Drive is a little bit different. Drive's just like you're cranking, so the bowl might only be turning a foot or two. You're just cranking at it. But when it comes to a strategic weight, and this is what I want you to do with your practice, is to start to do this. And you can do this with flapjacks. All you have to do is just go, okay. And this is what I used to do. Set up a jack, set up a bowl next to it, set up another bowl as to where you want to draw to, and then you get on the mat and you just draw into that bowl over and over. And so then you're just raking up through the bowl and through the jack. So like this video, very big, important tip, this one, and I haven't given you a real good one for a while, but this is one of those golden eggs, all right? So like the video, share it. If you got some value, subscribe. And I'd like to hear from you guys. Like I said, it's been 5 years. I play a little bit, 1 or 2 tournaments a year. Haven't played in a significant one for a while. Thinking about playing nationals or something like that shortly. Focusing on building the business, but I can still help you guys deliver value, teach you, and hopefully make an impact in your life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.